do? Welcome to the Boss Up Ball Law Podcast, your home for organic debate about Detroit Lions news and rumors. It's your man, Kurt Steele. On today's show, we look at keys to victory for the Lions versus the Tennessee Titans. Do the channel a quick favor, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video. If you enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel. We are on our way to 2,500 subscribers, and we are currently at 2,446. It costs you nothing, man. If you keep coming back and you're enjoying what we're doing over here at the Boss Up Ball Out Podcast, please hit the subscribe button and like the video. All these things help us with this YouTube algorithm and get this content to more Lions fans like yourself. If you are new to the channel, this is how our show works. We look at Detroit Lions news, headlines, or takes. If we agree, we say they are ballsed up. If we disagree, we say they are balled on. And we give our take on why we agree or disagree. For live shows, we do a little differently. If you agree, I want you to put a hashtag bossed up in the chat. If you disagree, hashtag balled on. Tell me why. I'll put it on the screen. We will talk about it together. No hot takes here, just natural debate about our true thoughts and feelings about what's going on with our favorite team, the Detroit Lions. All right, let's put our what's going on, what we're going to talk about today on the screen for today's show. We're going to look at Jamer will serve his 2-game suspension, starting Sunday. And then we'll look at some offensive keys to victory and some defensive keys to victory. All right, let's get into the chat to see who's in this junk this morning, man. Bo Booth's in the building. Good morning, bosses. Titanic seeking this weekend. I like the way you think, my man. And then my fellow veteran, my man Trent DeWitt. Salute, my dude. Salute to you, Brent. Thank you for joining the show, man. All right, so let's get into this JMO thing. And I want to do this, get it out the way, because what happened yesterday late in the evening. JMO, will start his 2-game suspension for violating the NFL's performance enhancing substance policy this weekend. Now, here's his statement. He said, "This week I was notified by the NFL I will have been suspended for a violation of the performance enhancing substances policy. The news came as a complete surprise to me that I am still trying to understand. I don't take supplements or vitamin. I'm overly cautious about even taking over-the-counter medicine. At no time have I ever taken something in an attempt to cheat or look for an unfair advantage. I understand that I am responsible for everything that goes into my body and take accountability for in this instance. I have nothing but love and respect for the game, my teammates, coaches, the Lions organization, and the city of Detroit. It is disappointing to accept this suspension, and it will hurt me to be away from my team as they prepare this week. So out of respect for my teammates, this will be the last time I will address this." And he signs, of course, JMO. All right, so there's no details about what substance he's tested positive for. NFL has a long list of banned substances, and they do not reveal the testing results of what this is. Of course, certain suspensions you can kind of know if it's PEDs, not PESs. Like you can tell, like if it's a performance enhancing drug, you can tell if it's marijuana or a substance abuse policy. You can kind of determine, by the suspension of what they're taking. But for this one, and it being a 2-game suspension, you're not really going to know because it could be for a masking agent, a diuretic, some kind of stimulant. But he did not test positive for steroids. So the narrative out there that he took something, and you don't know, man. It's all kinds of things on that list that you can test positive for that's over the counter or, gas station, something that, or just something that's over the counter. So you look at it, man. He said he doesn't know. And one of the reasons why I was kind of reading yesterday doing my research, they said if he was to appeal the suspension, the burden of proof is for him to avoid the suspension. And they said it's a very tough process when it comes to these tests to say that, to prove that it wasn't a malicious thing that you took, you did it on purpose. And that could have drawn out for weeks. And that could have put him out with the appeal process. That could have stretched out for a couple of weeks. And then that would have put him out if he lost the appeal in some critical matchups. The Titans game, yeah, that's here and there, and then the Packers are a good team. Will it hurt to have him miss him with the Packers? Absolutely. Have we beaten the Packers without him? Actually, when he was serving suspension last year, we beat the Packers without him in Lambeau. So, but of course, we would like to have all hands on deck. And then one thing is for sure, just to close this out. The coaching staff, including MCDC and his teammates, the players on the team, trust Jameson Williams. He'll be back in Week 10 for the Houston Texans game. But like J-Mo, I'm done talking about this topic. This is it. I wanted to address it one last time, just so everyone can see my thoughts and opinions of it. Just to be honest, if he's surprised and he really isn't going to know why he tested positive for whatever it is, and they really ain't going to tell him, I mean, what can you do with that? It's just one of those things where he'll be all right. He'll service 2 games. He said he's taking like a man and he'll be okay. So I'm done with all the hate toward James. I agree with you, Bo Booth, man. I've never had any ill will towards J-Mo. I think he's a young kid who, if you look at his story and you look at how he was his upbringing, not saying he didn't have any, he had both parents in the house, but very strained relationship with his dad, even now to this day with his pop. So, but the kid loves the game of football. He does everything right on the field. Has a few hiccups off the field, but he loves the city of Detroit, man. He goes into the neighborhood. He goes into places where people think are undesirable, and he hangs out with the people, with the fans of Detroit. So J-Mo is all in on Detroit. He's all in on in the game, man. I just hate that, this is an instance. So I hope he's able to find out what it is that, he tested positive for, and he can look back at what he ingested and be like, we will never take that again. Because sometimes you don't know, like I've said this before, you have something like, or you're getting treated for something and you have someone trying to take care of your body, just because it's in your system doesn't mean you ingested it in your mouth. It could be like a rub or an ointment that has something in it that can, leak in through your skin and get in your bloodstream. So, but good luck to J-Mo. This is my last time talking about it, of course, man. So, I'm 100% behind J-Mo, and I stand behind him, just like the coaching staff and his teammates. So, all right, let's see who else is in the chat this morning, man. Happy Friday, my man, Michael Hutt in the building. That's my guy, man. What's going on, Mike? Lady Line says, good morning. I hope the media leaves J-Mo alone when he comes back. They will not. They will not. He said he's not going to talk about it anymore, but they're going to ask him about it because that's what they do. That's their job. They're going to try to investigate further, and he's going to be like, next question. All right, so good morning. The flu is real. Yes, the flu is real. Okay. All right. Water under the bridge. Keep trucking. Bring on the Titans. Yes, bring on the Titans. KDC, what's going on? All right. Courtney Nicholson. I love J-Mo. He's a super talented, just young. Stand behind him in your prayers. Yes, thank you. Yeah, I will. I'll bring. Good morning, Boss Up Crew. Good morning, my man. Who could do is in the building. What's going on, man? The human condition, man. If you don't have empathy for some people, man, I understand these people are professional athletes, and I understand that they have certain responsibilities, but that doesn't mean they're not human and they can't make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So, and look at that young fella, man. He's just made mistakes, man. He's gonna be all right, man. All right, Amy Spry said, "Good morning, Kurt. Can't wait to watch the new team devour on Sunday, man. Yeah, definitely." Hey, my man, LL Cool Torrance is in the building, man. What's up, y'all? WTMN TV. If y'all know, that's my man, Big Huggy, LL Cool Torrance. Yes, definitely. Brandon Wood says J-Mo has embraced the city just like we embraced them. Free J-Mo. Yeah, man. Free J-Mo, man. Definitely. All right. And then good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. From my man, LL Cool Torrance, man. Y'all know you over there working, brother, man. Keep grinding, my man. Doing your thing. We're going to see LL tomorrow with Coach Jones. We're going to do our prediction show. Today is just kind of keys to victory. We go over what we think the Lions should do to win, man. And Chris Gale says, good morning, boss up, everybody, man. Hey, you got to boss up to start your day, man, and go grind and make that day great. So thank you for starting your day off with us right here on the Boss Up Ball Out podcast. Okay, let's get into the next topic for today, man. Got to look at keys to victory for the offensive side of the ball, because that's why we're here. We're talking about the game, man. We're moved on. We're talking about what's going to happen between the Lions and the Titans on Sunday. So my keys to victory in offense are kind of simple and to the point. The offensive line needs to keep Jared Goff clean in the pocket. JG is on a hot streak and has rhythm, and Ben Johnson's office, he's on an MVP type pace. The Titans can apply pressure because they have a good defensive line, featuring former All-Pro defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons and Pro Bowl outside linebacker Harold Landry III. I hope that Harold Landry III will just land in Detroit. He plays in the game and then he stays in Detroit. We just sign him. He gets here and never leaves. I mean, I'm just saying. We need a pass rush help. All right, so moving on. Okay, Goff and company will need to start fast against the Titans defense, who ranks first in yards allowed and in total defense. However, they rank 21st in points allowed and 26 in points scored on the offense. So they give up points and they don't score points. So the offense needs to get up on them fast and keep their foot on the pedal. I said this in the chat of the Lions Talk Live a few minutes ago, right? They don't give up a lot of yards, but one of the things they do, they turn the ball over. So they're the opposing offenses are playing on the short field a lot of times because, and we'll get to that reason about their offense here in a little bit, but the offense needs to get out front and just pound the ball and just keep the foot on the gas, man. Don't let the Titans even think that they're going to be even close to winning this game versus the Lions in Ford Field. Okay, the Lions are 5th in giveaways, so that means we take care of the ball, and they need to continue to take care of the ball. Now, Tennessee are 31st in takeaways, so they don't make the other team turn the ball over as much. So I think that we have a great chance to, keep doing that. And I don't think that we need to give them a chance to create turnovers. So we take care of the ball, keep passing the ball up and down the field and keep running the ball with my man Gibbs. And I think Sonic and Knuckles will have a big game this week. And then, mix in the play action pass. They have some good safeties over there in Tennessee, but I don't know about that. I think this should be a fairly way. I don't think the Lions are overlooking the Titans at all because of their defense, but I think this should be a win for the Lions. I don't think it should be something that we stress over in this game. So let's get back into the chat. Hookadoo said the NFL has a target on J-Mo. That's just not right. Yeah, and most times if you test positive for something, you usually kind of have an idea like, hey, this is what I tested, and and looking at Spot Rack, they said that whatever it was 2 milligrams of whatever it was, and that's really a small amount. Was in this, or whatever was in the system was 2 milligrams. So, but they didn't have a, what do you call that? They didn't have what the substance was. They just had the doses, whatever it was, the 2 milligrams that was in his system. And of course, another player from the Washington Commanders tested positive as well this weekend. All right, Goff needs to have a Paul Crew moment Sunday against the Titans. Yeah, okay. Definitely 6-1 after Sunday. All right, Bobu says I have I've never been a big fan of yard allowed stats as good for a ranking defense. Yeah. You know what? Like I said, man, those guys, man, the Titans cough the ball up a lot, so the Lions will have a short field. That's just the most. That's the reason why they're not giving up a whole bunch of yards because they keep turning the damn ball over. I mean, if you're giving up if your offense isn't helping, they're not playing complementary football, and your quarterbacks are turning over the ball. Yeah, it's one of those things, man. They don't have a good recipe for success on offense. All right, so now it's time to bring in my special guest for today because y'all didn't know he was coming through this junk, man. But it's my man, Big Dan, coming over from the Lions Talk Live, man. I just talk keys to victory on offense. We've talked about the J-Mo thing. I know you talked about the J-Mo thing ad nauseum. We're just gonna move past that. But I want to get your thoughts on my keys to victory on offense. And I'm gonna put this back on the screen for you, my man. All right. Excuse me. Let me do this differently. Okay, there we go. keep keep Jared Goff clean and in rhythm. He's on a historic pace right now. He's on an MVP type pace. Start fast and finish strong. Keep the foot on the gas. You know what I'm saying? I said this in your chat. I just repeated it. They give the ball up a lot. They don't give up a lot of yards because the opposing offenses are playing on short field. Right. And the Lions are pretty good at keeping the ball. You know what I'm saying? We're good at taking the ball away and good at not giving it away. And they're the opposite. They're good at giving it away, but they're not good at taking it away. So just to continue to take care of the ball. So what do you think about those keys to victory on offense, man? Keeping Jared Goff clean in the pocket, starting off fast and finishing strong. I think, we have a chance to run the ball very well on these guys. And then, of course, we'll play action pass. And I just think that we don't turn the ball over and we can definitely win this game handily.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. I mean, their defense, even though I think we all get it, when you only have to go, when the other offense only has to go 20, 30 yards to score, your defense doesn't really give up that many yards. That being said, they do have some strengths there. I do believe we got to establish the run game. I think we do got to put Goff in a good situation where he can play to his strengths. Whenever the Lions' run game is going at a good clip, Goff now has a lot of flexibility on offense to use play action, throw short, throw deep, basically whatever the defense is giving him. You go back to the one game where he wasn't really strong, and that's the Tampa Bay game. What did the Lions do there? They passed the ball, 50 times or whatever it was, and they did the opposite of the formula. But I think if the Lions offense can come out, score some points early, and just put more and more pressure on that not great Tennessee offense to try to match and keep up, now they have to force shots downfield. They have to do things they don't normally want to do, and that's usually a good recipe to get people to mess up.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video. All these things help us get this content to more Detroit Lions fans like yourself. Like I said, we're on our way to 2,500 subscribers, and we're only probably about 40 away from that. We're I'm about 45 away from that. We're at 2446, so about 50 subscribers away from that. So man, keep subscribing, keep helping us grow this channel. Like I said, man, doing live, man. You guys can do. I know someone asked me about this before. We're monetized on this side where we can do super chats, stickers, stuff like that. So so you can do that to help us grow the channel as well. So thank you guys for all the love and support and helping us grow this channel right here on the Boss Up Ball Out podcast. Let's get back into the chat right quick, man. And you got some greetings there. Woo, Coach Headroom. Man, Max Headroom, man. You and I are about the same age, so I remember that, man. I remember those Coke commercials with Max Headroom, man.
100%.
Good team inside of station, Coach. All right, definitely. All right, Motown Mitch says, "Yep, it's bad, really, really bad." Hey, my man King SJ is in the building, man. He says, yeah, good morning, Kurt and chat, and thank God it's Friday. Go Lions! Definitely, and I see turnovers. Yeah, man, like dead people, I see turnovers too. Okay, let's kind of look at the last topic of today's show, which is keys to victory on defense. Now, because you can't talk about one without talking about the other, and of course. Let's see what the Lions are going to do, what they need to do on defense to get this victory on Sunday. I think it's fairly simple as well. Okay, so need to stop the run on the way to the quarterback. AG group up front needs to stop the run on the way to the quarterback. Tony Pollard is a good running back, averaging 4.3 yards a carry. He's also a capable wide receiver out of the backfield. And with DeAndre Hopkins trade and Calvin Ridley's status for the game up in the air, Pollard will be their main offensive weapons for the Titans versus the Lions on Sunday. It just is what it is. I mean, they ain't got a lot over there. I mean, they get rid of people. So, I think, and then secondly, I think AG needs to find a way to get to Mason Rudolph because I think he's going to be the starter this week. I don't think Will Levis is going to start. Looking at the reports, I think they're going to rest him again this week. It will be a similar process as last week to get pressure on the quarterback. Linebackers will have to play a big role in blitzes until the Lions can bring in some pass rush help to fill that void of Hutch and Davenport. And we talked about on your show right now, it looks like Pascal may be out with an illness. So they're going to need to step up in that with those linebackers and probably some of the safeties to get pressure on whoever's playing quarterback for the Titans. I think it's going to be Mason Rudolph myself. And then lastly, Lions defense need to continue to create turnovers, right? The Lions rank 8th in takeaways. That's pretty good. and the the Titans ranked 31st in giveaways. So I mean, they turn that thing over. Now there's a viewer. He says his name. So I told him I was going to do it in the comments, right? He says Johnny V. That's the guy's name. He said he calls the Lions safety the Prowlers. So he said that Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch, or the Prowlers as he calls them, will have an opportunity to get a couple of interceptions on Sunday.
yeah.
I think that is going to be, they're going to turn the ball. I mean, you just look at, it doesn't matter who is quarterbacking over there in Tennessee, man. They give the ball up at a very alarming rate. I mean, they're -6 in turnover ratio. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. They're always coughing the ball up. So, looking at this, man, what do you think about the keys to what are you think about my keys to victory, and then what do you think your keys to victory are for the Lions on defense?
Well, I think, start with this. Hopkins gone, and especially during the middle of the week, so you only have a couple practices really. You have yesterday and today to kind of work on some adjustments, taking him out of the package and putting somebody else in. So while that may not seem like a huge thing, DeAndre Hopkins, even though he's 31, 32, he's still a pretty good outside receiver, still commands defenses to expand to that sideline and down the field with him. Ridley, maybe in, maybe out, whatever he's going to be limited as far as his snaps, so he's not going to be the sharpest. Now you're talking about more than likely you got the backup quarterback in, and even though Rudolph's been in the league for a while, he doesn't stretch the field. He doesn't have as much mobility as Will Levis. So I think in a nutshell, if you remember to Thanksgiving last year when the Lions played and then the Bears the week before, both of those teams really compressed the field, said, hey, we don't have to worry about the sidelines. We're just going to focus between the hash marks. I think that's what the Lions defense will be able to do this week, because neither quarterback are going to have the ability to stretch the field and widen the field. So that also means Aaron Glenn can get away with a lot more blitzes like he did last week with delayed up the middle blitzes. Hopefully they get a little bit better with them, because I thought they were too delayed. But I also think when you talk about the safeties, both of these guys, Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph, like to jump routes. They like to be playmakers. They did it in college. They do it now in the pros. And I think there's going to be some opportunities for a couple passes to be jumped on. I also think there's going to be some opportunities for both quarterbacks, whoever is going to be out there for them, to get pressure up the middle and forced out wide. And if he can do that with getting both guys to probably roll across their body versus going with their body to the right, you probably got an ideal situation for Branch or Kirby to make some plays on the ball. As far as what I'm anticipating, I'm guessing you're going to see more Nowosky. I've said it on my show. I know everybody's talked about it. He's been here 3 games now. He's had one elite Pro Football Focus score. He had one score last week, what was just under being elite. I think as he gets more reps, more understanding of how to be a Sam, this guy could really be something. I don't think he's going to be a James Houston or Aiden Hutchinson type get to the quarterback guy, but he does have some speed, he does have some size, and he does just enough other things currently where, man, he gets some growth. Him, Jack Campbell, Derek Barnes, Rodrigo, Alex Anzalone. I mean, that's a pretty deep and good linebacking core. So yeah, we'll see what shakes.
Yeah, and Anzalone's not having his biggest year, but he's having a solid year, definitely.
Right.
And he's doing his thing. All right, so let's get back into the chats right quick, and then the refs are the ditties of the NFL. I'm gonna pass on that one. Okay, I hope we get to see Hendon Hooker and Rakestraw Jr. in the second half. I think we will. Lions Talk Live fan Michael Huck says Arnold needs to keep improving. I think he does, man. He actually had a really good game last week. He didn't call his name a lot, except for the one faux pas in the first half and the run support. He had a really good game. All right. King SJ says, with the Titans being 1-5, as long as we prepare and execute as if they are 5-1, we should be good. Yeah, the Lions are. Dan Campbell's not going to let the Lions overlook anyone. They just don't do that. All right. We are playing Mason who? Dr. Detroit. Hey, is the doctor. Dr. Detroit, he is always in. That's my dude right there. Don't forget about Wingo. He'll just get better. Yeah. He's been playing well. Young fella, man. He's gonna get some snaps with the other guys being out. Kind of that hybrid type of guy where he's that big defensive end, or he can play some tackle Definitely. All right, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Xmas time, giving QBs. Yeah, they definitely get a ball up a lot over there, Tennessee's. All right, Sat by the Whiskey and Ringo, picks by T8 and Branch. Oh yeah, you know how they say it. They're giving an oh yeah for you over here, Coach Dan. You know what I'm saying? The Duke Crew's in the building. And then Trevor is eating. Of course he is, man. It says a lot about this young player because the Lions, he was on the practice squad. He got poached off. Then the Lions went and grabbed him. That says a lot about a young player because usually teams, when they let guys go, it's hard to get them back on the roster, and they don't really look at that. And I'm liking what they do. And my man, it is Mike Kimber, my man. What's up? I just woke up. Of course you did. Micro Mike is in the building from Chat Sports, man. Mike and Dan, good morning, brothers. Good morning, my guy. All right. Good morning, Mr. Kimber, man. Kurt, who are we trading for, man? I said it earlier, man. Hey, if Landry lands at Ford Field, they just hold him out the game. He just ends the game on the line sideline. He'll be in street clothes for the game. He could just hang out on the line sideline and then just go into the locker room with us after the game, after the victory. So that's what he mean. I don't know. I keep hearing you keep hearing rumors that they're talking with Cleveland, they're talking with Tennessee, they're talking with a whole bunch of teams, maybe the Giants, and there's been some guys that have been recently been let go. Some free agents out there right now. So I mean, there are pass rush help to be had out there. And it's just what is Brand Holmes going to do? Is he going to make a splash trade? I don't know. I mean, this is the biggest topic in Lions news right now is who are we trading for? Who's going to now? I'm not going to lie to you. It is a concern because I think the Lions do need that pass rush help. They're going to need it. They're going to need it down the stretch of the field because there's only a certain amount of teams that you can play this type of defense against where you're not being able to get to the quarterback and create pressures. Yeah. Oh, I just saw this, man. Mike. Yeah. The Vikings losing their left tackle end the season. I saw that last night, and it was so my thing was, why are you trying to run a play at that point in the game? You take a knee and you go into the half, and now you could have lost your starting left tackle Derek Shaw for the rest of the season. That's going to be trouble for them because
that's a big loss.
Their tackles play well, and Quisenberry is not Derek Shaw because the Quisenberry was their starting left tackle, and he's the reason why they got Derek Shaw in the first place. So
right,
and because where did they attack? Well, as soon as Derek Shaw went out, they started attacking that left tackle spot. So
absolutely,
yeah. And shout out to the Rams last night. And shout out to the refs for you know what I'm saying. That was a bad missed call. I have to say it was terrible. But I see that if you look at the angle, the where the ref was, he was standing behind Darnold. So it was that angle for him to see that. He probably thought he had a shoulder. It's kind of hard to see it from that angle because he was standing directly behind the defensive player. So it was kind of a tough angle to see. Now I'm not saying somebody else should have caught that. And why do you have replay assist if they can't come in and fix that call? They should have been able to fix that call last night. But it is what it is. Keep moving because we as Lions fans know all too well about phantom calls or missed calls. You look at, I always go back to that phantom face mask of Brett Favre. I mean, not Brett Favre of Aaron Rodgers. Guy got caught for a face mask. Didn't even touch his face mask, but it was a face mask on the Lions player. Hey, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video, man. All these things help us get this content to more Detroit Lions fans just like yourself, man. I think one thing, and I want to get your opinion on this, right? I think I don't think the Lions did it so well, but it started with the Packers game, and the Packers started exposing that Vikings defense, and it really got exposed with the Lions last week. And the Vikings secondary is not fast. They play that cover shell defense, and if you can block it up front and figure out who's coming from one angle, that defense is not that great. and it's going to get, because you look at last season, they played the same defense last year. And, oh, we got new pieces. Well, hell, you got new pieces, but if you didn't really improve, like, okay, the one the one linebacker, I think he's good. What's his name? The Kimber from Van Ginkel, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
And they got some good younger pieces, but that secondary is trash. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, and Murphy got the interception that on a Stafford overthrow,
Right.
but he lit them up last night, and I don't think a lot of teams can take advantage of that Vikings defense right now.
No, and the Vikings are so built defensively around getting to the quarterback off of the blitzes. But if they ever have to go man to man, or if the blitz can't get home, it's nothing against the guys they have, but at least half, if not 75% of that secondaries, in their 30s? And, for the real world, maybe that's not a big thing, but for athletics, especially in football, unfortunately, we all do get a little slower. We don't move as well as we once did, stuff like that. And definitely when you've got, guys in their, 30s trying to defend guys in their young 20s, it's just usually, unless you're Darryl Green, it doesn't work out too well. That's where I think the Vikings are going to get more and more exposed over time as more teams, and you saw Stafford and the Rams do it last night. They left bigger packages in there to help block or chip block, allowing guys a little bit more time to release. And the Minnesota secondary had to cover just a half second, a full second longer. They can't do it. And the Lions did the same thing to them.
Yeah, definitely. I just look at that, man, as we get ready to close the show. I look at that Vikings defense, and I'm like, one player that I'm looking at him, I'm like, he has the name, but Stephon Gilmore is looking like Stephen Gilmore. It's Stephen Gilmore, the practice squad player. Anyways, hey, man, do me a quick favor, man. If you don't do so already, man, make sure you follow the crew on your favorite social media platform. Coach Mike does a great job over there at Wolverine Lion Sport Talk. I post content from this show, shorts, reels on all of my social media platforms. And my man, LL Coutons, man, he does some great things over on Instagram, man. Yesterday was Thursday. He kept it thirsty for you over there on his Instagram page. Coach Dan, please tell people how they can find you and your content, my fella.
Come on over to Lions Talk Live every morning, 7 a.m. to roughly 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join Dan and the Duke crew, talk about the topics of the day, and pay attention for notifications for breaking news.
Man, he's like the mailman. Rain, sleet, or snow, it's going to be Lions Talk Live 7 days a week, 7 to 8, man. Thank you for coming on, man. Hey, do your man Kurt still a favor. Whatever you do in life, you got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. Before we get out of here, make sure you tune in tomorrow for our prediction show. We have a recorded prediction show tomorrow that airs. So LL and Coach Mike will be back tomorrow. Hey, be the best version of you that you can be. For my man, Coach Dan, this is Kurt Steele, and we will holler at you real soon.